ताकि हम सेमीफाइनल में और तैयारी से जाए।
Uh, I think just the ticking the box of I think what we've been doing really well, which is I think we've maintained some really high standards um, in terms of our execution, our intensity, and I think it's just continuing um on that journey. So I think when we started off, and I think I answered this question, I think it was your question only in Chennai, that we'd be playing in 9 cities and 9 venues. And I think we've, traveled the length and breadth of this country and played in 8 venues, and this is our ninth venue. And I think what this team has done really well is it has really represented India fantastically. It's played a really good brand of cricket. And we've done that in 8 venues, and this is a really great venue, even if I say so. I certainly think it is. Um, as do a lot of other people, to be honest, in our team. It's a truly passionate crowd and a great venue to play cricket in. And we would like to do the same. We know we have 9 boxes to tick, um, and we've ticked 8, and we would certainly like to don another really good display. Do our best. It's all we can ask for and hope for from the boys. And hopefully, if we do our best, then the results will look after themselves.
Well, a team like Netherlands, which has impressed everybody, how do you see them? Especially when you take on the mindset and all those things come into play.
Yeah, very impressive. I think been very impressed with the way they have played in this tournament. The effort that they've gone through to be able to qualify. Um, I have some, I wouldn't say first-hand experience, but I certainly know how difficult it is for associate teams to be able to reach this level and play. Having spent some time in Scotland myself in the early part of in early 2000, spent some time there, and I know things have improved for the associates since then. Certainly over the last 20 years, the ICC has done a really good job of trying to improve their standards and try to give their players same amount of opportunities. Of course, it's never going to be the same. The kind of professional setups now of some of the more established teams. But certainly, I think the performances of teams like Netherlands certainly go a long way in boosting the morale of a lot of the other associate nations, that they can certainly compete, that they've got some very good players. And it's quite inspiring to see that in spite of the challenges that they do face, that they're able to compete at this level, to play at this level. So yeah, it's been great to see the way they've performed. I know they'll be well prepared, well coached cricket team, and we're looking forward to playing them.
हाय राहुल ओवर हियर।
Oh, hi. Sorry.
ये इतना प्रेशर वाला टूर्नामेंट घर पे खेल रहे आप लोग, तो रोहित मैदान पर एकदम कूल काम कंपोज दिखाई दिए हैं अभी हमेशा, और अभी काफी टाइम से आप दोनों साथ है जोड़ी में। तो रोहित की कैप्टनसी को आप स्पेशली वर्ल्ड कप में या अदरवाइज कैसे देख?
Yeah, Rohit has certainly been a leader, without a doubt. I think he's led by example both on and off the field. Some of the starts that he's given us, the way he's cracked open games for us. A lot of times people have looked at one. I mean, I can't go into the specific games. I'm sure that you will be able to look into it. But there have been some games where it could have been tricky for us. But the fact that he's been able to get us to those kind of starts has literally cracked open the game. So in the end, it's actually looked easy. But on reflection as a coaching staff, when we looked at it, we've realized the impact that innings like that of his innings have had on games like that have made it look easy for us, and certainly made it easier for the guys who followed in that department. So, I think he's been fantastic with his batting, the leadership that he's shown, and taking on the game in leading from the front. We've talked about playing in a particular way. You cannot do that unless your leader really buys in and actually shows by example. And it's been terrific to see the way Rohit's done that. And I think his captaincy has obviously been fantastic as well. It's been very good for a long time. He's someone who's certainly got the respect of the group and the team, certainly got the respect of our coaching staff. Um, and yeah, it's been a pleasure to see him operate the way he has, both on and off the field, like I said. And I think he's truly someone who's deserves all the success that he's been getting, and hopefully it may continue.
Rahul, yeah, this side.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Rahul, since this is the last league game and India is assured of a top finish, is there a possibility of giving a chance to the guys who haven't played much in the tournament, or do you want to maintain the same 11 and take on the intensity to the semi-final?
I mean, honestly, we've had 6 days off from the last game, so we're pretty well rested, and the guys are in good shape. Is all I'll say without giving away the level. So we've had 6 days off. We've got one game before a semi-final. Boys are rested, so that's all I'll say.
Yeah, Rahul,
You make the inferences.
Rahul, the bowlers have enjoyed bowling under the lights. Like going into the semi-final, would you prefer having them bowl first over here and just to get accustomed to the conditions of the Wankhede?
We've done both things. To be honest with you, we bowled first. We've batted first in this tournament. I think that's been the really good thing for us in 8 games. I think in the first 4 or 5, I think we batted first, and then we had to chase in the last 3. So we've actually done both things, and we're pretty comfortable with both things. So I'm not too worried about it. We'll have a look at the wicket and see what we need to do and decide what we want to do. So there are advantages and there are advantages of both things. I mean, there are arguments both ways of batting first and putting up a score and hopefully setting the tone that way. And there's also an argument of chasing as well, which means that you probably have to bowl in the sun and stuff. But look, again, the toss is not in our hands. It's not going to be in our hands in the semi-finals, and I think we're comfortable both ways. I mean, we'll just make it. We'll have the look at the wicket today, and come tomorrow and have a look at the wicket as well, and then whatever call Rohit makes, we'll go with it.
Yeah, Rahul, you're right. You said you can make your own inferences, but I'm just saying, how do you balance somebody like Prasidh who's just come into the side, hasn't had a lot of cricket in the recent past? So how do you balance that between sticking to the guys who have rested and who've done the job for you so far, and keeping him ready in case the need might arise at some stage?
To be honest with you, you're at a pointy end in a tournament now. So now at this stage, it's about just focusing on getting the guys who you think are going to be playing in the 11 in the best possible space mentally and physically to be able to play that semi-final and hopefully the final if we earn it. So that will be the single pointed thinking. It's not about. There are times for larger picture thinking, and there are times for narrow focus thinking, in my opinion. And now's the time for sheer narrow focus thinking, if everyone is fit.
Hi, Rahul. Just a question on the middle order. They have done well this World Cup. 2, 3 games we saw where they stepped out well. So, a word on the middle order.
Yeah, it's terrific. I mean, I think again, I answered this question if I remember in Chennai, and I said that middle orders in one-day cricket. Somebody asked me about, and I said middle orders are going to be very, very important in a tournament like this. They're going to how well your middle order performs in sometimes very tricky conditions and challenging situations under pressure is actually going to probably decide how well you do. While our top orders also performed exceptionally well, I think our middle orders played very critical roles. Sometimes you can't judge them by sheer numbers. It's obvious that when you look at a leaderboard of scores and runs, it'll always be someone in the top 3. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You look at that whole board and it's all filled with guys from any country who in the top 3. So that's only gives you one half of the picture, but it's actually some of those 30s, 40s critical knocks. I can look back on this this whole campaign and look at the contributions of our middle order, and they'll come only in sort of spurts, or one knock here or 2 knocks there, and somebody done something there, or a Shreyas or a KL or a Surya's knock here, and Jaddu's important knock in Dharamshala. And you can look at a lot of these small things, and actually that's what really gives you those ticks or gives you those wins at the end of the day. So it's a combination of things, and touchwood, our middle order has been truly exceptional in this tournament.
Rahul, you mentioned Shreyas just now, and there's a lot spoken about him externally, of course, I'm sure not within the team. After those couple of dismissals, playing the pull shot and stuff, but then he's come back and he's played 2 fantastic knocks since then. Uh, what does he bring to the table that makes him such a special player, at that number 4 spot?
He brings temperament. I think one of the things Shreyas has shown us is right from the time that I've seen him as sort of an India A. He came and played India A when I was coaching those days. And I think one of the things that's really stood out about me is his temperament. You know, the way he handles success, failure. Um, you just look at even some of his knocks under pressure. You know how he's able to actually uh, bring the best out of himself under those pressure situations. So it's about, you can go on about everyone will have areas that they need to work on and they need to improve. It's not, someone might have some other area. There's no complete batsman who can say that I know everything or I'm very good at everything. I mean, you're always going to need areas to improve. But in the end of the day, you have to be judged by the results you produce and the runs you score and when you score them. And I think Shreyas, one of the things that does stand out, look at some of his test innings, look at how he started his test debut. Look at some of the critical knocks he's played for us. I mean, even in the 2 years that I've been here, I mean, Bangladesh, that game under extreme pressure. Who's the guy who stands up? Ash and Shreyas, guys like that who incredible temperament, incredible strength of mind. And I think that's what has held him in really good stead. He's terrific temperamentally. So when someone like him does well, he's going to make big contributions. And not always work out, but when it does, someone like him is going to make a big play.